For my psychology therapist interview, I interviewed Miss Kim Alexander. I know her from my dance studio, and I was looking for a therapist to interview, and going through my mind, I was like, well, I don't have a therapist, who do I interview? And then I remembered that she is a clinical social worker and has her degree in social work from both Iona University and then her master's from NYU in social work. So she has also a degree in therapy, so she works as a therapist for social work with the kids. She attended Iona University for 4 years for her bachelor's degree in social work. Then she went on to attend NYU and get her master's in social work, which you have to have in order to be a clinical social worker. Clinical social work is a healthcare profession based on theories and methods of prevention and treatment in providing mental health/healthcare services with special focus on behavioral and biopsychosocial problems with disorders. Clinical social work's unique attributes include use of a person's environment perspective, respect for primacy of client rights, and strong therapeutic alliance between client and practitioner. There's 250,000 practitioners serving millions of clients and consumers. Clinical social workers can constitute the largest group of mental health/healthcare providers in the nation. I conducted my interview in what was supposed to be the dance room, since she really wanted to be into dance therapy. She actually discussed this in my interview with her. She went on to dance therapy, wanted to be in dance therapy. She actually apprenticed a woman in New York City who worked for a hospital in dance therapy, but at the time when she was becoming a therapist and working in social work, it wasn't a very big field to get into, so she really looked about salary and insurance, and she really decided that because she got an degree in social work and everything, and she really, although she wanted to do dance therapy, she thought social work would be the best route for her. She went on to be a therapist for 5 years. So in my interview, it was a 30-minute interview. I conducted 15 questions. They first started off broad. I asked her, why did you become a therapist? She really explained to me that she really wanted to help people, and I myself know from personal matters, anytime I feel sad or anything, I basically get free therapy from her, and I go and explain to her my issues, and she is really good about it's almost an informal therapy session. I asked her what her degrees are in, and really just started off broad and moved into the more deep questions on how she conducted her therapy sessions. One of my favorite questions that I asked her that she answered was why she went, how she conducts her therapy sessions, and specifically why she focused on social work with children, and how they differ, so that social work and the children and adolescents differ from any other therapy setting. And she really explained to me that she's always had a connection with children, and she herself has seen the different routes that it can go, and she feels a connection, and she felt that it was her best place to be, was working with these children. And some main points that we talked about were how do you assess your patients, how does your treatment work. We went into depth on how she really looks in the environment, and rather than just looking at the one kid. Specifically for children, it's a big deal to look at everything that goes on in their life, with family, with their daily processes, the cities that they live in, the environment they're in. It's a really big deal not to just look at them, but they use a particular aspect, which is called PI, and they use PI to really chart out the therapy and the treatment that they're going to use for that student, or that child, So she really went into depth on her evaluation process and how it differs from different ones, and how her timeline works for each one. The main points were really that about the treatment and how it differs in the evaluation process, and we really went into depth on how that in social work and how her work is important to her and the others around her, and why she stepped away from it after 5 years to be a dancer was and to work in dance and choreography was really to work. She gets to still have the children, but she also has a family, and she wanted to create that family. So she needed to step back and take care of her children. So dance allowed her, to help the kids and help us as children. So she gets that side of that social work and that therapy that she did, while also being a part of her family and being able to support them. Thank you so much for watching.